On this special edition of Inside More, we are getting you prepared for the upcoming storm season. We'll show you how the City of Moore is using a new building and established relationships to better inform residents as storms approach. Plus, we'll tell you things your family needs to do to stay safe when severe weather strikes. And we'll see how volunteers and counselors are helping kids heal from the trauma of last year's storms. That's all coming up right now.
Moore, Oklahoma is no stranger to severe weather. Taking precautions is almost instinctual. That would all be for nothing without the timely warnings from weather institutions such as the National Weather Center and the Emergency Management Center of Moore. So let's explore these to get a better idea of how a city prepares for severe weather.
Our interactions with the local community, such as the City of Moore, happen all year long too. And we do that in a variety of ways. Last year, as we were leading up to the May 20th tornado, we had lots of emails and conversations that went back and forth for days preceding that. Emails, conference calls. On the morning of May 20th, we actually had a conference call that included about 100 people. But on that call were Galen Kitch, the emergency manager, and also the fire chief and the assistant fire chief for the City of Moore, who participated in that conference call, and we were briefing them on the expected conditions, what time we thought storms were happening. So that's something we commonly do during the springtime is that interaction with the local emergency management office.
They depend upon our spotters to provide them with ground truth information, an actual set of eyes in the field that can verify or not verify what they are seeing on their electronic instruments. And likewise, they provide us with the professional knowledge and information that's coming off of their radars that we again use in our decision making as to whether to activate our sirens, and also we pass that along to our spotters so that they have the benefit of the knowledge of the radar as well.
My name is Austin Kitch, and I'm a full-time student at the University of Oklahoma. The storm spotters, especially for Moore, we have more of a system where it's something like a net that's set up around the edges of Moore and a little bit farther out, where we can see the storm coming in and we can track it all the way into Moore. We get our information directly from and report back directly to Galen Kitch, the Director of Emergency Management for the City of Moore. He'll tell us where to go. We'll go and set up there and essentially wait for a while. It's not our job to follow it around and try and get good data off of it like the guys at the Weather Center here.
Because we have those good working relationships, because we are on a first name basis and we can kind of read each other's voices sometimes, how concerned we are about a weather event, that pays off on days like May 20th where we're able to communicate the threat even more effectively.
We have a number of ways that we provide our residents with information about severe weather. That includes broadcast television media, it includes NOAA weather radio system, it also includes our outdoor warning sirens. We have 36 of them. They cover all of our city, and we activate those sirens only when tornadic conditions are directly threatening the City of Moore. Now we also activate them in a test mode on Saturdays at noon, but we try and do that only when the weather's nice, so that there's no confusion over, is this a oh my gosh, I need to take shelter right now, or is this simply the siren test on Saturdays.
And now Moore will be opening a brand new Emergency Operations Center, a central place dedicated to any emergency.
We've never had one of these before. We've always worked out of a conference room or out of sometimes we just work out of a place out in the field. During weather operations, which is mostly just the Emergency Management Department, we have a much larger operations area now than we have had in the past. It's a place for all of the decision makers to work. We have a conference room, which is where we're at now. We do have some other assorted rooms that support some of the operations that go on and some of our daily operations as well. The key to this is simply to be prepared for our weather, but not scared of it. It's very easy to get caught up in the hype of, oh my gosh, look what happened last year. Oh my gosh, listen to the TV. It's, oh my gosh, all this bad things are happening. The key is to have a plan for that.
Disaster can strike with or without warning. That is why you and your family should be prepared before it's too late. In the case of a tornado, there are a few precautions you and your family can take to ensure your safety. To make sure that you and your family are informed about what to do during a tornado warning, sit down and discuss the signs of a tornado. During this time, answer any questions about what precautions are to be taken to help ensure that your family will stay safe if danger strikes. Here are a few things you can talk about during your family meeting. First, making a to-go kit to take with you when you take shelter is highly advised. In your kit, you should include the following: water, a battery-powered radio, non-perishable food, a flashlight, a first aid kit, cell phone charger, and extra batteries. It is recommended also to include photocopies of any important family documents such as insurance policies, passports, and birth certificates, along with extra cash. Understanding the details of your insurance coverage in the event of a tornado before it is needed is advised. Also, keep in mind to include any medications or baby supplies if needed. Having a to-go kit ready in the event of a tornado will save you from any trouble that could occur without one. Second, let your family know where will be the place to take shelter. Before a tornado warning is issued, stay informed on what storm warnings are in effect. As to where to take shelter, there are options. Some houses have underground storm shelters, which will be the best place to go in the event of a tornado warning. The next best place will be to find a bathtub, preferably somewhere in the middle of the house. Another good place to take shelter would be a closet in the middle of the house. To ensure yours and your family's safety, stay away from windows and try to be in the room closest to the center of your home. Knowing where you and all of your family members should be during a storm beforehand increases your safety.
We had hundreds of people that survived the May 20th tornado because they took shelter, because they did the right things. The benefits of storm shelters that we have so many of in Moore and this area now really paid off during that event.
Note, before taking shelter, if time allows, shut off any utilities such as water, gas, and electricity to your home. This simple action will reduce any risk such as fires that could be the result of a tornado's destruction. Also, don't forget any household pets. Take them with you into your shelter of choice. If left unattended during a tornado, pets can get lost. Take them with you to guarantee their safety.
We are so fortunate here in this area to have so many great sources of weather information from all of our partners in the television stations to the National Weather Service to the emergency management. Take advantage of those sources of information. Pay attention.
While you and your family are taking shelter, continue to stay informed by listening to your battery-powered radio. Do not leave your storm shelter until the tornado warning has been lifted. The key to safety is being smart and aware of what is going on at all times. Finally, discuss with your family the preferred method of communication before and after a storm in the event that everyone is separated. It is advised that your family text one another instead of calling if separated. Because of lines being busy, texting will increase your chances of reaching one another.
Well, sometimes when we talk about creating a disaster plan, that overwhelms people sometimes, because you think plan, you think, oh, I've got to write stuff down, or I've got to get a kit and go buy huge containers to hold gallons of water. I think for tornado season in central Oklahoma, the plan doesn't have to be that complicated. The first and most important part of your plan is having multiple sources of weather information. Not just an app on your phone, not just TV, but also having a NOAA weather radio, having multiple ways to get warnings and critical information. And then also paying very close attention to that information on a day like May 19th or May 20th when we have the threat of severe weather.
Enlightening your family will put into light any doubts about tornado safety you and your family might have. When faced with danger, staying calm and collect brings order to chaos. With order and planning, you and your family can go on to living your lives without fear, knowing that no matter what happens, you will all be ready.
It's tempting to see this camp as just like any other. Kids playing games, making crafts.
Get another color. Get another color, Austin.
Even a puppet show seems properly placed.
Pedro, were you scared? Totally. Everyone was scared.
But beyond all the fun and games is a camp with a serious mission to help kids and more be prepared for storm season. And perhaps never more has the mission of Camp NOAA been so important.
I see the need in more, and I think since I came out from the very beginning, and I kind of own it a little bit, and I want to see it through. I want to see more heal.
Darla Perry is a licensed professional counselor with Oklahoma Strong, a grant-funded organization with the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health. Darla and another counselor, Sue, were on the ground almost immediately after the storms.
I was one of the original volunteers. When the tornado hit, I was watching it from my home in Thomas, Oklahoma, and I wanted to help, and we got an email from the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse asking for volunteers.
I really never thought about helping anybody after a disaster until I was watching the TV and watching everything that was happening.
While helping adults cope with the disaster, the two counselors were given the opportunity to help a special group of children so desperately in need of help, students inside Plaza Towers Elementary.
Darla and I got to go to the schools that were having some voluntary counseling. They were allowing people to bring their children in, or adults to come in and just have free counseling in the summer. And Darla and I got called over there for a couple of those sessions, and then I began to thinking about the kids. My passion is children. And so being able to be in Plaza Towers and see the progress that those children are making.
The pair have been a huge help to children in the Moore area, and during spring break they didn't stop. Darla and Sue volunteered to help at Camp NOAA, an organization that helps children and families affected by disaster. One of those families was Nancy Northup and her daughter Gracie Jackson. They live in Joplin but have come down to Moore to give back after Camp NOAA gave them so much.
Because of all the volunteers that came to Joplin and helped with us after the storm and the different programs that they brought, how could we stay home and not help others?
Camp NOAA uses the biblical story to help kids be prepared for the next storm season physically and mentally.
I get to actually do one-on-one with the children, reading stories, helping them to talk about their feelings, drawing, doing artwork, or through just conversation, and just being able to help them understand that there's something beyond what they're dealing with right now.
The week-long camp teaches kids deep breathing exercises and ways to calm their nerves when they are scared of storms. Through small group activities, counselors hear stories of trauma and hurt and help replace that with hope and healing.
I think the best medicine is being able to talk about the tragedy. And the more that you talk through it, the better you're able to heal. It gets easier. It doesn't ever go away, but it gets easier.
But perhaps the best medicine for hurting children is simply to have fun. And Camp Noah has that in spades.
The fun part of it helps them relax to where, you know, if they get to know us, they'll tell us if, like, you know, how they feel, and to where, so we can help them more.
I think with Camp Noah, you can kind of see it as a camp. So it's a fun day, but at the same time we're teaching those coping skills, and we're giving the kids an opportunity to talk about their experience and get it out and be able to process and move past it.
Our children are resilient, and they can overcome a lot, but they cannot do it alone. It is with the help of counselors and volunteers that Kids and More are preparing for this year's storm season and healing from last year's.